Well, hello again. I'm Dave Strohmeyer with Saddle Up Shooting. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, glad to know you. Today I'm going to be validating some numbers that I have argued with from the manufacturers of Hornady and Sierra. As far as BC, as far as bullet weight, as far as what type of potential it has on target, how much velocity loss you might have by going down. But we're going to have some fun today because we're going to be shooting at 100 yards and validating a 53 grain VMAX by Hornady and the 69 grain Sierra Tip Match King. This will be interesting, I hope, for you. So come back in a moment, folks. Let's get shooting. Well, today we're going to focus on those numbers, and I'm going to share that with you, because how much difference does velocity really make in this day and age? Now, I know there's a push towards heavy bullets for caliber, high BC, fast twist rates, all that kind of stuff. But about 90% of all bullet manufacturers made bullets for the older days, my day. For the older type of rifles with slower twists. So we're going to share that with you, but first I'm going to shoot the 53 grain VMAX that Hornady touts as the best bullet they've ever made for the .223 caliber. So far so good. This is a 1 in 7 twist barrel twist rate, and I was concerned about that because this is going out of the barrel at 3,500 feet per second. That's 22-250 speeds, and the 22-250 has a 1 in 14 or 1 in 12 twist, not a 1 in 7. But we're going to go ahead and shoot a couple of shots here for you, give you the numbers, give you the extreme spreads, give you the accuracy on target, and then compare it to the 69 grain Sierra, which is going to be traveling at least 250 to 300 feet per second slower. And I'll show you the chart at the end to compare my point that the faster it gets to the target, the less time that it has for the environmentals like wind, cold, or whatever to affect that bullet flight. Now, that's just my opinion. I'm not a professional ballistician. I have to trust what they say as being true. But as far as I'm concerned, fast and flat gets there sooner, and that's what I'm after. Okay, so let's go ahead and shoot the 53 grainers here. This is going to go real fast. I've already shot a couple of shots on target just to see where they hit, so this will be a new target for you to see. .85. Now my chart's only going to show you 3,500 feet per second, but that'll be in the ballpark, okay? Alright, second shot. Woo, 35.85. $35.50. All right, third here. Okay, 35.50 again. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit. I'll go reset up the camera down there, change everything over, and we'll get to the 69 grain, the heavier bullet that this rifle was designed for long-range type of shooting. Be right back. Okay, now we're going to be shooting the 69 grain Sierra Tip Match King. It has a much higher BC than the 53 grain Hornady that I just shot. The higher ballistic coefficient is designed to be able to buck the wind at a distance maybe beyond 400 yards, maintain its speed for a longer distance. But for a hunter who maybe is under 400 yards, the legacy bullets are just fine. Now, hand loading versus factory ammo. Don't get me wrong, factory ammo is just fine. As a matter of fact, I believe it's much better than it was 20 or 30 years ago because of CNC machining, computer technology, components being better. You know, if that's what you shoot and it shoots well in your rifle, go for it. But if you really want to tailor make an ammo to the game that you'll be shooting, the distance you'll be shooting, the speed that you want to have the proper terminal performance on an animal, then you might want to get into hand loading, folks. You're going to save about 20% per cartridge, maybe a little bit more. All that means is that you'll shoot more. So you're really not going to save any money, but you'll get a lot more satisfaction out of it. Okay, here we go. 69 grain. Now I adjusted the scope a little bit because I was shooting left, but we'll see if that makes any difference here. Parallax correct. Okay, that was 3184. I think my charts at the end will show 3200, so I'm within 16 feet of that. But let's go ahead and shoot a second round. See if we can get a group. Oops. $31.85 again, that's pretty good. It's going to have a real low standard deviation for these match bullets. Now, match bullets are not designed for hunting, they're designed for target shooting, but on a small varmint, it'll work. Alright, let's go check out that target, 3180. So, man, the standard deviation is going to be great. 2.2. Whew. Alright. Well, there's a piece of steel out there at 200 yards. So we'll give it one shot each when I come back. Alright, first up 53 grain on that steel target at 200 yards. Hope I can hit it. Got my scope up to max of 25 power. Still, that's only a little 5 or 6 inch target. Looks like I hit it dead center. Now we're also going to check the spalling on the difference between these bullets, because that may show indications of an energy difference. Alright, now the 69 grain. Let's go check that out and wrap this up with some more talking. Okay, folks, remember now, the purpose of this video is to prove out a point that I believe that speed trumps everything. Alright, so down here is a 53 grain on the 22 arc of 3568 with an SD of 16.4, and that group is less than 1/4 of an inch. Okay, then over here with the 69 grain tip match king, 3189, but a great SD of 2.2, and you saw I had a flyer, so I came back and shot another shot just to make sure that that was me and not the rifle or the ammunition. Okay, well, and you saw the 2 shots that I did on the steel target, I think. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go to the actual proof in the pudding. Okay folks, there's the chart. Over here is the 53 grain, over here is the 69 grain. All right, 53 grain, 3,550 feet per second with a G1 BC of 0.295. Out to 300 yards, assuming 100 yards zero, I only have a 7.7 inch drop, 3.5 in the wind drift, 2661, 833 as far as the energy is concerned. Now how does that compare to the 69 grain? 3,200 feet per second. 0.375 G1 BC, that's quite a bit higher than the 0.295. Okay, 9.5 inch drop versus 7.7. 3.1 wind drift versus 3.5. 2661, 2538, 987, that's where the 69 grain wins. It has a higher energy. Okay, let's just step forward one more 100 yards. 18.5 inch drop, 21.9. 6.5 in the wind drift, 5.6. So only by 1 inch or 9/10 of an inch do I have a wind drift advantage for the higher BC and heavier bullet. 2,400 feet per second, 2337, but a distinct advantage again as far as energy is concerned, 837 versus 678. So folks, this tries to make my point about out to 400 yards, does BC really matter, or even a heavier bullet more so than the velocity numbers. Okay folks, well if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and check your subscriptions please. Leave a comment if you will. But as always, may God bless y'all. See you again next time. Goodbye.